Well, hello there and welcome back to the channel. Well, aren't you guys in luck? Today we're taking a look at this guitar. This is my 1983 Gibson SG Special, and yeah, a bit of an unusual guitar in my collection. As most of you guys know who follow this channel, pretty much everything I play has got a Floyd Rose or a Kaler or some sort of stilly stick just for some stupid acrobatics, because deep down inside I'm honestly like 8. Anyway, this might surprise a lot of you though. This Gibson SG right here is probably the guitar I've had the longest out of any of my collection, and it is, yeah, this is my favorite guitar out of all the guitars I own. Hey, if you are new to the channel, just gonna let you know right away, I'm not gonna be doing a ton of playing just because these are stock 490 R and 490T pickups. You find these in just, you know, any modern production Gibson SG Special. I will do some playing near the end though, so just follow these timestamps down here and find the content you're after, okay? Awesome. Alright, so let me tell you why this particular guitar is indeed my favorite out of all the ones I own. So this goes all the way back to 2013. I was still fairly new to playing back then. And this was the first real guitar I bought. I mean, I had an electric and an acoustic, but this was the first proper professional guitar I ever purchased. I didn't get this for a ton of cash either back in the day, because when I found it, it was on one of those classified sites, and it was in a bad way. The gentleman I bought it from had it in a basement. It didn't have a neck pickup. It had some other random pickup in the bridge that wasn't Gibson branded. It was missing knobs. The knobs that were on here were actually like, I think they were speed knobs. I think there was 1 or 2 left, but they were both cracked and broken. The switch didn't work. The tuners on the back weren't right. They were something else, and there was little holes drilled. It was just a mess, this guitar, a real mess. The other thing with this too is I don't know if this guy smoked or not, but this thing just absolutely smelled like a bar from 1987 or something. Like, it just reeked of whiskey and cigarettes, which kind of adds to the mojo of the guitar, I guess, overall, but was a bit strange and a little disconcerting. Anyway, bought the guitar, brought it home, cleaned it up, started sourcing parts, and yeah, this is kind of the finished product. So indeed, this is a vintage instrument. It's from 1983. Serial number on it is 822235116. So that's how I know it's from 83, of course. Gibson at this time period was, the first digit indicates the decade, and the 5th digit indicates the year. So 8, then we got 222. That's the day of the year, so the 222nd day. And the 3 that follows that is the year. So I know that for sure this was built on the 222nd day of 1983, whatever day that happened to fall upon. But yeah. Anyway, so, but yeah, this is a legit vintage instrument. I got it, again, in a bad way for not a ton of cash. When I did buy it, the guy I bought it from was convinced that this was some sort of olive drab color. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, while this does look amazing and looks olive drab, it certainly was not olive drab from the factory. I didn't know this at first when I bought it. I thought indeed it was green. I'll be honest, because this was my first real guitar, I played the absolute snot out of this thing. So much so that this is the only guitar I own that I've ever actually had to have refretted. Yeah, I played it so much the frets were just annihilated by, you know, 2 or 3 years of owning this thing, to the point where I couldn't bend anything without fretting out. It was a mess. Anyway, but yeah, so played it so much that, here, let me show you the back of the neck. You can see it's starting to go silver again. I'm playing through that kind of patina that's been built up. On top of that, I mean, there are more chips. You can see this little chip right here. Things like that, just that have happened over the years as I've been playing the absolute crap out of it. And you can see for sure that's silver right there. And also another spot here where it rubs a bit when I'm sitting and playing. It's gotten really light and turned back to silver again. And there's some more, you know, scratches and stuff in through here, which again show that it was silver. Oh, you can also see just looking at it. I mean, look at all the cracks and just imperfections in the patina on this thing. Again, I feel like this guitar was probably played a lot before I bought it. This just kind of adds to the mojo for me personally. I love this guitar. I mean, look at that. Look at all the finish checking, even on the back of the headstock. I mean, it's a bit of a mess, but it's kind of a hot mess in a way, right? Anyway, a few cool things about this guitar that I didn't fully appreciate until I bought it. Playing it, the neck, I always really just enjoyed the feel of this neck. Feels great. It's thin. It's not too thin. I'm not getting a hand cramp as I play it. But importantly, I love this fretboard. And when I bought it, I didn't really know a ton about guitars at the time. This is an ebony fretboard. This is the only guitar I've got with an ebony fretboard. That's why it's so dark. It's awesome. I just love the way it looks. I love the really flat Gibson radiusing on it. Plays awesome, looks awesome. Yeah, great. The frets obviously are fantastic. These I've had on here now for probably about, I don't know, seven or 8 years. They're good. Still lots of life left on them. No worries yet. Probably won't have to refret it for another, 10, 15 years, hopefully. Now the tuners that came on this thing, well, I shouldn't say stock, when I bought it were like, I want to say they were Grover aftermarket Tune-o-matics. And they didn't really fit properly. They had to drill some holes in weird spots to make everything fit. These I put on, these are Grover aftermarkets that look kind of like more of a vintage style Gibson or Kluson style. I did this just because I wanted it to look right. That and these are awfully green. The guitar is really green, right? So yeah, green guitar, kind of green tuner keys. I thought it all really worked and looked good. Oh, another cool thing, the nut here. It's a bone nut, but it's a really green looking nut. When I had it refretted, the luthier that was working on it found me his greenest piece of nut he had to put on there, which is a really nice touch. Another great thing about this guitar, which differs from most SGs, I should say, but you do find these on the ones from the 80s. Take a look at that bridge. See this? That is a Schaller, and if I'm not mistaken, that's a Schaller 455, I think is what these were called. So you've got brass saddles, and it's a one-piece. This kind of wraparound bar here pulls out when you do your restring, and it pulls, and you put it back in, insert, and then thread it over. You can set your intonation here however you like to set it up. Really, really cool bridge. I don't know if this does anything for tone or not, but I think it sounds exceptionally good. And just a really nice, high-quality German piece of equipment on this guitar, which came on it when I bought it, which is fantastic. Oh, one thing I will say, guys, just as we're talking about this, I've had quite a few Gibson SGs over the year. This is kind of my preferred Gibson platform. I broke my back years ago. These don't weigh much. This guitar is super light, right? So if you're playing a show and you're playing for more than an hour, every pound kind of counts. This doesn't weigh much. I find now that I'm playing with a cover band fairly regularly, this guitar gets a lot more play just because it's so light and really versatile, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And one of the reasons it's so light, I think, is probably due to the material that was used for the body. I'm not exactly 100% sure what this is. I know it's one of 3 woods. It's either poplar, it's either mahogany, or it's maple. These are the only 3 woods that were used on the SG Special on the bodies during this time period. Most SGs are mahogany body. This one definitely has a maple neck, which is fantastic. You can actually see, I've worn through the paint in a couple spots. There it is there. And I mean, that looks like maple. That looks like maple. I got a couple nicks like this one right here on the body, which is, it looks like it might be slightly darker, which makes me think maybe mahogany. You can see a bit there too. But again, it's really light, which has me wondering maybe it's maple as well. Not sure, not 100% sure. Don't know my wood grains enough to really 100% comment what it is definitively. I just know it's one of those 3 woods. Which one? It's a mystery, but it sounds great. Now, another thing I'm going to mention again, just because I've had so many SGs over the years, is the beveling on this in 83. I don't know if this is true about all the Gibsons up until the switch over in ownership in 86. The beveling on this is really extreme compared to most modern SGs. Like, look how deep these bevels are. The cuts are really deep. It's very thin. You really don't come across modern ones with that kind of extreme contouring. I think it's pretty neat. Again, just something that makes this particular guitar a little bit more unique than, say, a modern SG. I mean, obviously that it's finish checked, has a wild history, and has had the snot played out of it. But yeah, interesting, different, pretty cool. So the electronics, again, when I bought this thing, we had no neck pickup, and the bridge pickup had something unbranded in it. It looked to me kind of like a DiMarzio Super Distortion knockoff. It didn't sound particularly great, didn't sound terrible, but I wanted to put in, something that was more in line with what you would find in a modern Gibson, right? Or a Gibson even back then. And the 490s to me always sounded great. 490R, 490T, you really can't go wrong with the sound in an SG. It's perfect, it's aggressive, it's great. These obviously are Zebra. I had to look around to find these, found them, put them in. Really happy with them. And the one thing that is cool about them is I can indeed split them. So this is my tone knob. You pull that out, you split both of these down to singles so you can kind of blend them that way, give you a little bit more versatility. And these controls, obviously, they didn't come like this with the dice on it. This is, again, just some stupid stuff I do. Yeah, you see the dice? These came with speed knobs, and the knobs that came on it, I think it was missing one, the other one was broken. And there was one that was kind of okay but faded, but I took them off, put some dice on there that kind of fit the aesthetic a little bit, I thought. And yeah, they've been on there ever since. I like them. It's working just fine for me. And again, this one is split. This is my tone knob back here. So that's where it's split. These are volumes. And the reason I did them like this, of course, is so if you take your volumes, you know, turn your bridge all the way up, turn your neck all the way down, you can do stuff like use it like that, kind of like a kill switch, that sort of thing, and just get goofy with it, right? Now the cool thing I did with this, of course, is like, you know, this is just stock 490s. That's, you know, just it pushing a clean amp right now. They're pretty aggressive. Middle. Oh yeah, right. I got my volume down. Middle. Neck. But the reason I really like it is, you know, in the middle, you get kind of that lush tone. As soon as you pull this out, it kind of goes into that sort of old sounding, kind of spanky 2 single coil thing, you know. You can do that sort of stuff with it, or you can, you know, I don't know, just kind of has that really old sound to me, which I'm finding is really useful now that I'm playing in a cover band that plays a lot of really old and varied music. The other great thing, if you get down on the bridge with a, you know, split like this, you kind of get that kind of that country twang stuff, which is really cool, right? I mean, this is an SG, but in a pinch, you can kind of get by and do some country tones with it, which is super awesome. Another thing I should probably mention about the electronics, and you've probably already noticed that, is that the configuration of these ones from the 80s, the early 80s anyway, it does differ from a modern, you know, SG. Modern SGs, you're looking at 2 tones, 2 volumes, right? The typical 4-knob situation. These only have 3. I'm not exactly sure how this was set up new. I'm gonna guess it was probably something similar to this with 2 volumes and a tone. That's what I think would make the most sense. I'm gonna say when I wired these, obviously I did, this one here is the neck, and this one here is the bridge. I might switch these around just because I find, probably like most of you, I spend 90% of my playing time back here in the bridge. Anyway, it'd be really nice if that was, you know, the bridge volume there so I could just roll it off super quickly live if I wanted to, just to silence my guitar. That's the only mod I'd really do to this, except maybe, you know, put another coil tap on another one of these knobs here just so I can split these independently, and maybe even make another one so I can invert them. I don't know, I'm always tinkering around. I keep saying I'm gonna do more with this guitar, but I just haven't because I really love it the way it is and it does everything I need. But yeah, there you go. My 100% favorite Gibson SG ever of all time, and quite honestly, yeah, my favorite guitar of all the ones I've got. Love this thing to death. It just, this guitar has the mojo, whatever that is. I've played this in so many bands. I've played it over so many stages in so many different venues in different cities. This is the only guitar I still have that played on the only record I've ever been on, which has been recorded. So just a ton of memories and history with this particular guitar. And of course, part of the magic with this one too is just that it's banged up. Like it's not a show relic or anything. It just is a relic. I mean, you can see there's just nicks, dings, dents everywhere on this thing. Oh yeah, there's one there. I did that one. I think that was a soldering iron. Yeah, clumsy me. But yeah, just my absolute favorite SG of all time. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you on my favorite SG. I hope you found this somehow enjoyable. If you did, please consider hitting like and subscribe. And as I mentioned, I did promise I would play you out. So here we go. All right, bye for now.